That's what I did in an interview in Germany. I did as Mario and as Luigi and these guys in the morning disc jockeys. They're driving, doing the drive thing, and it's like, oh, you know, and you know, we have a special gift, and they're doing it all in German, and then I'm pretending like I understand, and I answer in English. And I said, oh, you know, wait, it's Cologne, you know. And they said, you know, oh, we didn't have that a good time. I said, well, what do you guys do when you're not making games? Oh, well, you know, we like to come to places like Cologne. We like to go around, you know. Luigi likes to go around too. Yeah, that's right. It's my year, so I went around. We went around too. We went around. Yeah, we like to go around lots and lots of places. Like Luigi? Yeah, that's right. And we saw, what did we see, Luigi? We saw a dome. Yeah, and what happened? I bumped my head into it. I don't know why. I love Luigi. I don't know why. I know why. Because Luigi's the best. I love Luigi.
Yeah. Year of Luigi.
Yeah, really. Are you guys having a good time?
Yeah.
What a great show. I love it. I spent 4 hours today autographing, and then I get to this, which is really fun for me because I love talking with you guys. And did you guys? Have you been to one of my panel discussions before? Yeah, but not everybody, right?
No.
So I'll bore you guys that have been there before because I'll go drone on about stuff. So, you know, I'm a huge proponent that you should do whatever you love to do in life, and that life is about fun and joy. And so when I come to a con like this, like Sac-Anime, which I absolutely love so much, it just makes me so happy to see people being happy and having fun and dressing up and just, you know, being your inner child and being your happy self. That just makes me very thrilled. Because I think that's what life is about, you know? And life is so short and it's very unpredictable, and you know, the only thing we know for sure is that it's going to end. We just don't know when, you know? So you should have as much fun while you're here as you possibly can. That's what I think, and, you know?
Yes.
Building friendships and having friends and people that you love and love being with and you can let your hair down with and come to things like this too. I think that's really a magical experience. We didn't have these when I was growing up, so you know it was easier to be isolated. So it's really cool to see people coming out and having fun together. So thank you. Oh, thank you. So I became an actor. Now, see, I'm one of these people. I'll say, oh, you know, keep doing what you love in life. Find your passion. Discover, you know, explore your passion and follow your heart and do the things that you love to do in life. Because, you know, when you're at the age of like 15, 20, 25, you don't necessarily know what you want to do in life, you know? You just know that you're alive-ish, you know? And, you know, so, you know, it's like, how do you find out what you want to do? Well, you keep doing what gives you pleasure, you know, and there's no guarantee, but I'm pretty sure that it works out that way, that as you do what you love to do in life, more and more and more, you attract things to yourself that will bring you more and more happiness. So I'm a big believer in that. Now that said, so it's easy for me to go, okay, so just keep doing what you love to do in life. But when I was 18 years old, I had no idea what I wanted to do. I knew I was in college. I knew I had to go to, you know, you go to school, you finish college, and then you go on and do a profession, you know. And I dropped out of college. I was like, I was a brat. I wanted to do law, and I had a great professor, an English guy, and he taught political theory, and I thought, this is the happiest I've ever been in school, because he's the only teacher that ever said, you know, that what is the nature of man according to Hobbes, Locke, Rousseau, Voltaire, blah, 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 and based on what you've read and studied, what is your opinion of the nature of man? No one had ever asked me to think before. So I was like, what? You're kidding me, okay. You know, so I love this professor, and I went back for my last couple quarters, and I couldn't get him for a single class, so I pouted and I walked out. UC Berkeley. So, yeah, and I'm like, I have no idea what I want to do. I'm like, dee. And a friend of mine goes, well, why don't you come and take an acting class from me at Diablo Valley College? And I said, because there's no way I could ever possibly stand up in front of people and speak. There's just no way, you know. He goes, no, you should go. I said, no, there's no way. I said, no, you should go. I said, no, I can't. He said, no, you should go. I said, no, I really. He says, there's a cafeteria, you know, there's a student cafeteria, and before you go to class, we can have lunch, and then after lunch, then you can go to class. Well, I might go for the lunch. I don't know if I'll stay. I always go for lunch. And that's how he got me to go to class, and I had no idea. I never know I did it. Didn't want to be an actor. I didn't know what acting even was. And I knew that I liked to like make my mom laugh, and you know, I knew I liked to make people laugh and be the class clown. I didn't know. I didn't associate that. And I remember we did our first thing that we had to do, of course, is a monologue. You learn a monologue, you know, and ours was from the Spoon River anthology about a bunch of people that are dead. And, you know, and you come back and go, oh, my name is Joe, I was the plumber, and, you know, I died the horrible death in the fire, you know, and it's like, it's a typical sort of like, I bumped my head. It was just terrible. But, you know, of course you did it, and I was like the last person. I'm like, oh God, please. Don't let him call on me. And of course, it goes through everybody. I'm like, uh-oh, I'm gonna die. Please, let me die before I get up there, please. And I didn't die. Instead, I went up and I had to do my monologue. And I swear to you, I was shaking so much. I was so scared. My right leg was shaking like this, and I'm like, I could feel my knee bouncing up and down. I'm like, oh my gosh. And I put my weight on that leg so it would be better. And then the other leg started going like this. I'm like, oh my gosh. Spread your legs apart, you know, and meanwhile I'm going, I died a horrible death, you know, and I put your legs apart, and then put your weight evenly. And I did that, and then both of them were going like this. And I was really convinced that I was going, my name is Joe, and you know, and I finished my monologue, you know, and I did not die. I want you to know, I did not die in my monologue. Instead, I survived it, and I finished, and people were like, oh my gosh. You were the only person who wasn't nervous. You're like, what? You know, I mean, I was convinced that I was like drenched in sweat, and you know, the things were, you know, and that's amazing. And so I thought, okay, well, I'll do this again. So I started doing scene work, getting a little bit less nervous, and all of a sudden, there's a school play, the taming of this, not the taming of the Midsummer Night's Dream, and I decide I'm going to play the lead role in it. Thank you. Thank you very much. I got water.
Yay!
Princess Leia water.
Oh.
So I'm like, you know, this is great. So I'm, you know, now I'm confident. I'm a young actor. I'm gonna go audition for this. And I went and I auditioned. You know, that there lies Titania sometime of the night. And I'm like, oh, you know, I watched all the other actors audition because that's what you do in college plays. And I went up there and I did my audition, and I felt so good. And so powerful and so happy on that stage that I was absolutely convinced that I was meant to be an actor, that I was going to be an actor, and the first thing I was going to do as an actor was to play Oberon in Midsummer Night's Dream, the male lead. And the next day, you know, the casting notices come up, and I didn't get Oberon. I didn't get, like, sword holder, duck, quacking. I got nothing, you know, it's like zero. I didn't even get to be the sword. I was very skinny at the time. I got nothing, you know, and I'm like, okay, now that, you know, and here's the thing, that lit a fire underneath me, and all of a sudden I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go be an actor. I'm gonna get it. So I started studying speech, and I got first place in the speech tournament, in the state championship, the national championship, and then Berkeley Rep came out and they auditioned for a summer apprenticeship program, and I went to that audition. It was a professional theater company, and I auditioned against the same people that had just done the school play, and I did that monologue that I did, and I got the part, and I got the summer apprenticeship, and from there, you know, then I went to drama school in London, and Sir John Gielgud was the patron of our school, which I thought was really cool, except his theory of acting was, say the words and don't bump into the furniture. Which I think I've managed to do for several years, you know? I bump my head a lot, but so, you know, I had no idea, and I don't know how that happened. And then, you know, then I was like, I did theater for 10 years, and I started doing corporate theater. I finished theater because I was tired of it. It was hard to make a living, and you know, living in people's houses and stuff. And then all of a sudden, I said, I'm going to quit. I'm going to go into business. And of course, I couldn't do business at all. Complete, utter failure. But within 3 months of leaving the theater, I got a phone call from a friend. Do you want to come and do an audition for a corporate video? And I said, what's a corporate video? And he goes, well, it's a video, and it's corporate. That sounds interesting. You know, and I don't know why, but I went to this audition, and I went to the audition, and I got the part. You know, it was like monolithic memories, monolithic memories, you know. And I got to be a ham, And they paid me more for being a ham in a day than I was making a week in the theater. So I said, this is for me. And so I started doing that sort of thing, and I did end up doing 600 corporate videos. After doing 600 corporate videos, there I go, and all of a sudden, bada bing, bada boom, bada ba, I do this commercial of American Gothic, you know, the farmer with the pitchfork and the wife that's sitting there. So we did that like all day, because in those days it took like all day to do a lot of it. So you then finish that and say, wow, what a great job. Yeah, I get $1 for doing that silly, you know. And the director goes, that was great. Listen, do you do voiceover? And I said, of course I do voiceover. What's a voiceover? You just read the script, and you know, I put you in front of a microphone, you read the script, and I looked at it. Yeah, how long does it have to be? 15 seconds. 10 seconds. Okay. Orchard Supply Hardware, the right item at the right price, right now. Perfect, thank you very much. Here's another $250. I'm like, I'm an actor! You know? So I stumble in from one thing to that, and then I started doing commercials. I do like 150 commercials. And then, well, you know, all of a sudden it's like the commercials are waning, and I start doing trade shows. And so I've just started, how did I get my trade shows? I bumped my head into it. Someone said, do you want to, you were doing this on a video, oh, and if you have to be free to come to Philadelphia. I'm like, free to go to Philadelphia? And you're going to pay me to fly and go to Philadelphia? So then I'm doing shows all over America. And one day I'm sitting at the beach doing what actors do, which is waiting for the phone to ring. And the phone rang, and it was my friend who was a magician. He goes, you should go do this audition. It's for a trade show in Las Vegas. And you go, and you know, what's a trade show? Well, it's a show at a trade thing, you know? And so I said that there's no way I would ever crash an audition. I'm a professional actor. Oh wait, maybe I'm not. What's the address? And I don't know why, but I went to this audition. I have no idea why I went to this audition. I was comfortable, I had my crossword puzzle, I had the sun, it was a beautiful day, the sun was going down, and I went and I got there late, because I was late, and I bumped my head on it, you know. And I walk in the door, and just as I'm walking in the door, the producer's walking out the door, the cameraman is walking out the door with the camera in the bag, and I said, hi. Can I read for this? And he looks at me and he goes, because obviously the audition had been over. And, all right, come inside, come in. We'll set the camera up, and you start thinking. Now, you're an Italian plumber from Brooklyn, right? So you're this video game character. So make up a voice and make up an accent, you know, and then make up a video game. And you start talking, and when you stop talking, that's going to be the audition, because you're going to have these contacts glued to your face. So when you move your face, this real-time animation system will move the face in the same time and go, hello, I am Mario. And that should make the cartoon character do the same thing in the same time. Of course, we have no idea if this is going to work or not, so if it doesn't work, you're going to have to stand there as whatever your name is, talking to people all day, you know? And I said, okay. So, an Italian plumber from Brooklyn. That's pretty easy, you know. Say, hey, how you doing? I'm under your sink. Don't bother me, all right? Get out of my face. I'm wiping here, you know. And I'm thinking, well, that won't be fun to do that all day. and besides, I believe that comedy should always be really nice to people, you know. It's like, you can't be nice going, hey, what do you want, you know. So when I could make it, you know, nicer, and I'd done Gremio and Timmy the Shrew, nice old Italian guy, talk like a this. I know for several years before, I thought, well, that'll be more fun to do something like that. So I'll just make up a video game. What's a video game? I do absolutely, I play Pong. You know, that, you know, I can make that up. Like, you know, I go, oh, you know, hello. I say, I'm a waka 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 waka. You know, or I can, you know, remember Space Invaders and Asteroids, you know?
Yeah.
That was my extent of it. Although I did used to play Tank too. I don't know, that was like on an Atari. And you go around the tank. And I would always get mad at my friend when my friend would destroy me all the time. So I'd stop playing that.
Aww.
It was too easy to bump my head. No, but I thought I just didn't know anything about video games. So I thought, well, I'll just make something up. I have no idea what I'm going to make up, but I'll just make stuff up. And he said, start talking and don't stop until you run out of things to say. I wonder if he really means don't run out of things to say, because I don't think I'll ever run out of things. I could start talking and then not stop, and then see how long I could go, and he wouldn't even know I was doing it until tomorrow or something. You got my mischief up, and I like getting my mischief up, And so, all of a sudden I'm thinking, okay, I'll just make stuff up now, and I'll make, instead of Graham, hello, how are you? Nice to Graham, your daddy guy. I'll make him a little bit younger, and then I'll just talk. Action! I go, hello, I'm a Mario. Let's make a pizza pie together. Okie dokie, you go get some sausage, I'm going to get some spaghetti. We're going to put spaghetti and sausage in the pizza, and then I'm going to chase you the pizza. If I catch you with the pizza, you got to eat the pizza, and then we're going to make another pizza. You can make whatever pizza you want. Then you're going to chase me with the pizza. If you catch me with the pizza, I'm going to eat the pizza. Then we're going to make a spaghetti meatballs. I'm going to chase you up the hill with spaghetti meatballs. Then I'm going to chase you down the hill with the spaghetti meatballs. I was like, well, this is fun. I'm having a good time with this. I'll just keep going. I did not bump my head for 35 minutes.
Wow.
Until I heard, cut, stop talking, please. There's no more videotape. Thank you, we'll be in touch. Which to an actor is like the kiss of death, right? It's like, we'll be in touch means, there's the door. Would you please leave the door and close it behind you? Oh, we'll be in touch, we love you very much, So I'm like, okay, thanks a lot. And I'm like, wow, okay, there's still time to go watch the sunset. So I think I went back to the beach and I watched the sunset. I think it was a nice day. I never thought another thing about it. But I walked out the door, and he got on the phone, he called Nintendo and he said, I found our Mario. I got him. And he only sent my tape. Of all the people, all the other actors there, he was like, thank you very much.
Wow.
Looks like 23 and a half fantastic fun years ago, and I talked to him since then, and he said he turned to the camera, and the cameraman turned to him while I was going through, said, okay, then we'll get a kitchen sink, and we'll make it into pizza, and I'll put the kitchen sink in the pizza, and I'll chase everything with the pizza, he said, do you think if we left right now and went for a cocktail, we'd come back in half an hour? And the cameraman said, well, as long as he doesn't bump his head. No, he didn't. He goes, let's go and find out, but they didn't leave, they stayed there. And I guess what happened is every other actor would start off, hey, my name's Mario, how you doing? Let's make some pizza, let's do some pies, let's have a good time together. You mean something like that? And they would break character, stop playing, and then break the character. And as soon as he did that, this director would go, yes, that's it, thank you very much. Next. Because his direction was clear. Start talking and don't stop till you run out of things to say. And I was the only person that took that mischievously. And literally, too. And so that was 23 absolutely glorious, fun, really, really wonderful years ago. And my whole life is so enchanted. I get to have so much fun. I get to record games with people at Nintendo. I love the creative teams there, the most amazing minds and supportive people. I work with a localization group, they're called the Treehouse in Redmond, Washington.
Right.
We record most things in Seattle, although I have recorded also in Japan, which is really, really fun to see Mr. Koji Kondo's studio, that the whole symphony can go in this beautiful white pine woods and massive consoles where I think Mr. Kondo's a genius. I know that because when I wake up in the morning, I'm happy. I'm hearing when my coffee maker doesn't work. And I just. That was so much fun, and so I work with these great people that are creative minds. Then I go do PR work and things like that, representing the company around the world, which is really fun because I love to travel. And then I do media things and some advertising, and then I get to come to shows like this and see wonderful people like you, and it's so much fun. It's my favorite thing is to meet fans of video games and anime and things, because you guys are so passionate about life and enjoy it so much. So that's that's my life in a nutshell. And I always, honestly, I wish for everybody that you find things that you really love to do and pursue those things and bring happiness, express who you are, because that's all acting is. It's not, you know, the elements of those characters that we portray as actors are really just, they're elements of ourselves, you know? So when you're, if you're a garbage man or a game designer or whatever you are, you're just expressing yourself, and to find out what it is that gives you juice, that gives you joy, and do that for a living is what I wish for everybody, because you will enjoy life. And the universe has this incredible way of when you're having a great time and you're living in gratitude and you're expressing your love in your life, it just has a natural way of like going, oh, you like that? Have more, you know? And so you get more, and you get more and more and more, and it becomes like that snowball that goes down the hill and gets bigger and bigger and bigger, you know? So I wish you an avalanche of love and joy and happiness and fun, because that's certainly what I have. And I also love the games that we do. I'm really proud that we make games that I think are really family fun and young adult fun, child fun, adult fun, fun for an old geezer like me, you know. I mean, I love it, you know. It's really fun, and I going around the world and meeting people, and you know, like Super Mario 3D World, you know, it's like kitty cat.
Yeah.
I just love it. It's really fun, you know. Plus, you know, I live in the Bay Area, so this Sac-Anime is really close. But there's something unique about Sac-Anime people. I don't know what it is. You're just very friendly, very kind, and very generous of spirit. So thank you. And obviously, the only reason that video games are successful, the only reason that actors get to come to places like this to see you is because of you. You know. So thanks for keeping me in your heart and saying, come on down, because I love it. So. You can ask me any question you want. I won't answer anything, but no, you can answer me. You want to ask questions, or should I keep rambling?
Question?
Ramble? Question. Let's ask a few questions, then I'll ramble in my answers. There's a microphone here. I don't know if it works or not, but well, if not, I'll just repeat your question. Yeah.
This one works.
Hi, Mario.
Hello, Charles. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you.
I'm Joe. Thankfully,
That's Joe.
And thankfully, I did not die in a fire.
Yes, yay.
Or get touched by something else.
Well, it's really great to see you again, sir, and it's really great to have you back at Sac-Anime. It's
Thank
always a great pleasure to have you here. So welcome, welcome, welcome.
Thank you, Joe.
Yeah, I have a quick question actually about voicing Mario characters, in particular, Wario. I noticed Wario's voice changes a bit from Mario Kart 64 through the Mario Party games, and then changes again for WarioWare Touch. For the Mario Party games, he sounds kind of, more deeper. Yes, I did it. And then with Mario Kart, it's kind of, I did it. It's a little bit more gleeful.
Yeah. Why is that? I don't know why that happens. Luigi's voice in the Japanese version is slightly different from the Luigi version there too. I'm not sure exactly what that is. I think it's just the creative teams are like, this is what we want on this game, because some directors, want Luigi to be like, oh, very scary, and someone like, oh my goodness, So, it's like each one is slightly different, and I think too, Mario's voice, although in my brain it hasn't changed, as I listened to Mario 64, it was more like this. It's a me, Mario. And now it's like, it's a me, Mario. It's like more energy and more pump and more drive into it. And I'm not sure why. I can tell you that Wario's voice is the hardest one to do.
Yeah.
We do like sessions of like 4 days. I do one day Mario, one day Luigi, one day Wario, one day Waluigi. But the last day is always the Wario voice. And I'll do the babies in one day. On the fifth day, but the fifth day, the last day will always be Wario, because it's like, I want a rough day, and they might pitch that voice a little bit up or down to make it match more of what they're looking for in that game, a more energetic, fiery Wario, or a more, devious, it's going to be my way, So, I know, yeah.
All right, thank you so much.
You bet, thank you.
Oh, by the way, my favorite Mario game, Mario Sunshine.
Mario Sunshine. Thank you very much. I love that game.
Oh, it's a beautiful atmosphere. Isle Delfino is beautiful.
Ding, 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 ding.
Especially the secret stage level music with like the very nice steel drums. And,
Oh, I don't get to those secret stages, but what does it sound like?
oh God, you know, I'll probably send you a link, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's very hard to
Isn't it funny? I'm not very good. I play at them, but I'm not very good.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Joe. It's really fun to do your voices. Hi.
How are you doing today?
Great, thank you. How are you?
First of all, it's a big honor to meet you. You're basically like a big chunk of, well, not just mine, but probably pretty much anyone's childhood if they grew up with video games.
Yes.
Thank you.
You're basically like one of my first games. And I was just, so I have two questions for you. One, and I'd also like to comment, it's like, I like hearing like the stories of what like voice actors and such did before they were like voice actors, because then I get to imagine those voices as that profession, so I can just imagine, you know, I get caught in jail, I'm gonna call up Mario as my lawyer now.
Hello, Mario Bros. Lawyer Factory. Mario. No, Mario, Luigi Mario. Attorneys at law.
But my first question is, okay, so like, princess gets kidnapped. How do you think that the first person to go to, instead of like a knight or some sort of battalion, is a plumber to save a princess?
You know, that's a very good question. I think, you know, one of the great things about the characters that I love is that they're all so real, you know? And I think a piece of the eternal beauty of Mario is he's like an everyman. You know, the way...
Exactly, that's what I was thinking too. Like,
yeah, the way...
ordinary guy gets to be the hero this time.
That's right, the ordinary guy's a hero. And it's just, you know, he falls in love with a princess and he devotes his life to rescuing the princess, you know, and there's no other story that you know, there's no, oh, well then they're gonna da-da-da-da. It's no, I love this person, I'm gonna save her. And, you know, I'm a plumber. And, you know, it's kind of like, I think that's one of the great things about, you know, Shakespeare, not that Mr. Yamamoto is Shakespeare, but, you know, in a way, it's Shakespeare. It's you know, everyone gets to identify with this prince of Hamlet, you know, prince named Hamlet. Everyone can identify with the tragic figures of Lear or, you know, whomever, the comic figures. And it's like those real aspects of character are in all the characters that I play. The fear of Luigi is like a nervousness and trepidation. It's like real fear that comes from inside. You know, and it's just an expression of me that happens to be, you know, mamma mia, you know, so it's, you know, and Luigi, you know, I can certainly, I feel so sorry for myself. You know what it's like when you wake up in the morning and it's like you want to make a cup of coffee and you drop the filter and then you put the beans in the grinder and you open it up too soon and the beans fly all over the place and then you didn't make enough, you have to make more and that makes another mess and then you drop it and then you pick it up and you put it in there and you forgot to turn the water on, you know, so I wind myself and I realize that those things are aspects of myself.
And second question. All right, power-ups.
Yes.
We got.
Can I just say one thing first?
Yeah.
I prefer to be Mario. But you know, it's really real. You know, sometimes you're grumpy in the morning. Sometimes you're in a bad mood. I'm glad that
We're all
you're...
there. We all.
Yeah, so I go to those
I don't like being
characters.
angry at people either. Second question. Okay, power-ups. We got. What do we got? We got mushrooms. We got fire flowers, ice flowers, tanuki suits. Basically, I have come to conclude that Mario is the master of metamorphosis and alchemy. So, any ideas from you personally that you'd like to see? Any new power-ups? And it could be anything. I don't know. I can throw a pizza at someone. I don't know.
You know, it's so
Italian
funny.
stereotypes. It's up to you.
I'm the luckiest guy in the world because I don't have a creative mind like that. I'm not a great game designer, a sort of creative mind. I can imagine like, oh, it'd be fun to do this, fun to do that. But you know, what happens to me is I'm always surprised. Like I had no idea the kitty cats were coming until I got to E3. I'm like, aww, I love those kitty cats, you know. And then, but I you know, I remember that we had actually done something like that, and I just sort of slipped my mind, like, oh, so that's what happens, you know. And then we went to the studio, and I thought it was gonna be like meow, meow, you know, that'd be the power, or meow, you know. It's like meow, you know. I'm like, whoa! It was really dynamic and exciting to do that voice. So you know, I don't have any idea. You know, I know I'm always kind of a little bit playful with it. I was like, I love the tanuki suit. I like his princess pizzas. Oh Mario, you look so handsome in your tanuki suit. But every time I wear the penguin suit, I get hungry for sushi.
Oh, ha ha ha.
I don't know why I think of those things, but you know, we still do the real-time animation system, and I was doing it this December at the Nintendo World Store, and I stay at home in my bunny rabbit slippers, and I talk with people in Nintendo World Store for a couple hours a day, and on a shopping mall tour in Phoenix and Boston and Los Angeles, so that was like really fun, and I don't know, I love those characters so much, they're always alive in me. they're fairly silly people.
Well, we all are sometimes, so not really good shape out. So.
Yeah. Did I answer your question okay?
Yeah, that's fine. I mean,
Yeah, I don't have any idea for power-ups. I just don't throw I remember when I saw Mario Galaxy for the first time, I had total goosebumps everywhere. I was like, oh my gosh, this is, and you know, the first time I saw Super Mario
same
Bros. Yeah, I know, it's like I saw Super Mario Bros. And I'm like, oh no. I mean, I started laughing, and every time, I still laugh and giggle when I play that game, because I think it's so funny and cute, so I leave the ideas to the masters of ideas. And I just have fun. Thank you for asking, thank you, yeah.
Yeah.
Quick questions. One, what are your thoughts on the 2DS? And two, how do you think it would go if Mario was narrating a commercial?
So let me the first one. What I think of the 2DS, I think it's really cool. It's not at all what I expected. I like the 3DS XL. That's my favorite sort of platform because I love the big screen. I love, you know, it's like oh, you know, that's really fun. But I like the 2DS too. I saw one today and I'm like, oh yeah, I can imagine playing it. Oh yeah. Yeah, it's like really fun, you know. It's great. Yeah. And what was the second question?
What would it be like if Mario was narrating a commercial?
What would it be like if Mario was narrating a commercial, you know? I don't know, you know, you should try the 3DS. It's a big screen. I would love it. Woohoo! You know, and you know, last year we did some interviews with Mario 2 years ago with Mario Sports Mix. And you know, you can see on the internet, and we're doing advertising with Mario, which is really great, you know, having him in the commercials, it's great. But he's not really narrating much. I think I narrated a couple of commercials a few years ago. That was really fun. Yeah, because he didn't talk that much in the game, but I certainly talk a lot outside the game. Thank you very much. Good question.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hi, it's so great to meet you.
Thank you. It's great to meet you too.
I was wondering, what's your favorite Mario game franchise?
Wow, what's my favorite Mario game franchise? That's a great question. It's really hard one. Because I love every Mario Kart game. I can't wait for Mario Kart 8. I'm so excited by that.
Yeah.
You know, I'm really no good at Smash Brothers, but I'm really excited about Smash Bros. You know, Smash Bros. And you know, this 3D world, it's like every Mario world and every Mario land. You know, Super Mario 3D Land, Super Mario 3D World, was just like, it just knocked my socks off. I think it's just so cute. But you know, Super Mario Bros. The whole Super Mario Bros. Wii, Super Mario Bros. You know, this, that. It's like every time I just love that. I love it when you know, because I love the powers like the Tanuki suit. I love the little propeller hat. I love it. You know, it's like when I saw the propeller hat, I'm like, aww. I just want to stay up there. You know, I'm very simple that way. I bumped my head. But you know, what about you? What's your favorite?
I like the original New Super Mario Bros.
New Super Mario Bros. Yeah. I'll see it. Yay. Thank you very much for playing my games.
Oh.
Hi.
Just a couple small questions. One,
Sure.
what is your favorite Mario power-up?
My favorite Mario Bros. That's so hard because that's a really hard one too. Because I love the Tanuki suit. For some reason, seeing the little thing go down like that, going yay! You know, that's really fun. And I really do. Been saying that a lot. Yeah. I got the penguin suit. Why didn't they want sushi? I love food. So I love that. I love the propeller hat a lot. But I think the Tanuki suit is like, although Raccoon Mario, they're all really fun. I love. One of the things I love about the games is that every time it's a surprise to me. It's like when the kitty cats, you know, getting the little bell, ding, you know, it's like a kitty cat is kitty cat, and then scampering up the wall. It's like, that's my favorite thing in the world, until I see the next one, and the next one will be my favorite thing in the world. Because really, the propeller hat was my favorite thing ever, the tunic suit was my favorite thing ever. It's like each time, it's like my favorite thing ever.
And the second question is, do you think Luigi's courage has built over the years?
Do I think what?
Luigi's courage has.
You know, do I think yes, I think Luigi has gotten more and more courageous, and that makes me happy. The last Smash Bros. Brawl, he didn't seem as courageous until he actually did it. But it's interesting, it's like it's, Mario is all fearless, courageous, you know, and Luigi is especially an admirable person to me. I'm saying this, but at the same time, I should be careful what I say, because I'm much more like Luigi. I'm the second born, and my brother is the firstborn. My brother would just walk right into a plate glass window and keep walking. And I would like get to a doorway and go, I don't know if I really want to go through the doorway. There could be something on the other side of the doorway. I don't know what the door is. If I had the end, I bump my head. So I'm a lot more Luigi, and I aspire to be more Mario. But I think, you know, it's interesting, because there's a character that I really love that if somebody's afraid and does it anyway, it seems like that's a unique sense of courage. So I love that in Luigi, and yes, he's become more and more courageous. One of the things that I do in the Mario in real time is the characters have a shadow. You know, and I say, you know, I was in my brother's shadow for many, many years, and now I'm in the light, and guess what I found out? I got my own shadow. Look, see? Hello, shadow. How are you doing? He follows me wherever I go. If I go over here, watch him. See? He came with me. Watch him over there. He goes, oh, look, he went over here. See? Bye-bye, shadow. You know, and I don't know why, but that's amusing to me. There's so many things that I just find amusing, and I just don't ever like censor myself. I just go, because I know that it's not going to be anything that's inappropriate. It's just more. Is this funny, or am I just being nonsensical? And I don't honestly know until after I say it. But thank you very much for the question, though.
Thank you.
By the way, one of the things I forgot to do is when I read a, hello, it's me, Mario. Woohoo! Mario, have a rotten day. Yahoo! Everybody cheated with me, and baby Luigi, and baby Mario. Let's go! Yahoo!
Wow.
Thank you. I one time when I did that, she sort of like went through it, and I forgot Luigi, and someone in the audience goes, "There he goes, forgets Luigi again." And I'm like, "Oh, I forgot Luigi," so I had to do more Luigi at that moment. But then it's so funny because like, poor Luigi. Poor Luigi, or poor me. Oh yeah.
Hi, Charles.
Hi.
I find it really awesome that you have a wide range of voices, from Mario, from, well, you know, to Parthrax from Skyrim.
Parthrax, that was fun. Dragonborn.
I was wondering, could you possibly say a Parthrax line, if you remember one, in the voice of Mario?
I don't
and
remember.
Mario.
I don't remember, you know. It's a me, Parthrax. That's a hard one, you know, but you know, it's a me, Dragonborn. Wahoo! You know, it's fun. I don't know any lines. I don't remember a thing. That was that Parthrax game with the Skyrim game was really interesting because with the Mario game, I get a script and I watch some actions on, you know, on TV, and then we go through the script and we improvise. We watch like a jump might be like hop hop yahoo, you know, or whoop whoop woo. You know, you don't know. You know, you watch it. You try to put the best characterization for that move. And Parthrax, it's like I didn't see any moves, but I had scripts on this TV screen. You know, it's like, you know, the Dragonborn is, and they were like, it had its own language. And we'd have to call the writers up because they invented a language. And they said, you know, is this word here the Clornax or is it the Clurnax? Oh, it's la Clornax. You know? Okay, got it. Now remember how to pronounce that, you know? And then sometimes they like put things phonetically and it's like, no, that's not what you're not, no, that's not that, you know? So it was very silly. But that's fun.
I remember one line from Skyrim. Could you say that Mario?
You do? Sure. What is it? Nice.
I am as my father Akatosh made me, as are you, Dovahkiin. I am as my father Akatosh made me, as are you, Dovahkiin.
I am as my father Akatasha made me, as are you, Dovahkiin.
Very nice.
Thank you. Ooh. Mamma mia. Yeah, hi.
Just a weird story night. I was at my girlfriend's house and she was playing it, and part of an actress came out and started talking. I had no idea that was the same person that did Mario.
It's not funny, it's funny, isn't it? It's really kind of nice, huh?
Yeah.
I mean, an actor's life is great because every day is different. You know, and it's a tough one because we're in a difficult time for actors. At the same time I say follow your heart and live your dreams. It's also, you know, have a back trade, have something to fall back on, because there is a certain element that's business, there's a certain element that's luck, and there's certain elements of just, you know, creating your own destiny and your own reality. But, you know, it's, boy oh boy, it seems like just 8 years ago, there were a couple hundred actors making a living in the Bay Area, and now it seems like they're like 3.
Wow.
So, you know, it's just the way work has gone, has changed. Reality television has taken away thousands of acting jobs.
Wow.
Yeah, so, you know, and that's, you know, there's nothing you can do about it. And what's happened too is that the top tier stars, you know, the A-list actors are now taking B and C-list parts because they'll take anything because there's no work for them.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like the whole pool is kind of weird. But at the same time, it's like, you know, when you're an actor, you're not really competing one against the other. You're bringing your heart to the party. You know, as a designer, as an artist, in any way, it's like you bring your heart. So I would never say to somebody, boy, it's rough out there, so don't try. Oh, it's rough, so don't live your dreams. I mean, that is just stupid. That's just ridiculous. You know, that's just, well, no, it's you know, it's a little overly strict and parental. And you have to live your dreams. Sorry, you're going to ask me a question, weren't you?
Well,
And don't stop until you run out of things to say.
I have 3 questions.
I should put that on my tombstone.
Oh.
He ran out of things to say.
Oh no.
That's I got multiple life. I just push start again.
Still one of my
You know, somebody,
Yes.
a child asked me that once. You know, he said, Mario, when you die in the game, do you see God? And I'm like, well, you know what I do is I just I say, wah, and then I push start again.
I have 2 questions. The first one, how much fun was it just screaming Mario's name randomly when you were recording for Luigi's Mansion?
Mario! I love that yellow.
I used to spend hours just like hitting the A button over and over just to make
Oh, that's so sweet.
so funny.
No, bad doggy. Yeah, you know, I'm weird. I have raised 3 girls, and so, you know, I have all these things in my brain, remembering them, their first words and the things that they were doing, and so those words are in the Mario games. You know, I just, you know, you know, Kayla, when she was 2, there was a dog. She said, no, bad doggy, you know. And so that's why we went bad doggy. Naughty doggy, you know, it's like, because that's what she said, and, you know, the Martin Luigi Partners in Time, you know, well, every one of those has some word from the kids when they were girls, when they were little babies. Every single one of them. Apple, mine, you know, things like that, just I don't know why.
My other question was, what do you think the odds of there ever being an actual Waluigi game? Or
What do I think the odds are of there being a Waluigi game? I would love that, you know? But as I say, I'm not the sort of guy that you know, they've got these creative teams that are just sort of weighing things and creating things and having fun. You know, they were having so much fun creating Mario Galaxy that the engineers and artists kept drawing new worlds and coming up with new ideas until Mr. Miyamoto said, if you really want to do it, let's just make another game. And they're like, woohoo! You know, and then Galaxy 2 came about because the passion, the joy in creating video games at Nintendo is so cool that way. So hopefully somebody's going, as we speak, you know, or dreaming.
Well, I just want to say thank you for being part of my childhood because for a moment I saw you in Super Mario 64 when Mario came on the screen, started talking to me, I screamed because I went straight from the NES to 64.
Wow.
So I just want to say it's
Wow.
really awesome to talk to you.
Thank you. Thanks so much.
Yes.
It's so cool to be alive. Thank you for that. Hi.
Hi. I've been a lifelong Luigi fan, so when the year of Luigi came out, it was just a huge moment for me.
Yeah.
How was it for you, recording all Luigi lines after doing so many Mario lines?
I loved it. I thought it was so cool. I think Luigi in Smash Brothers Brawl, it started coming into his own big time. And then when Luigi's Mansion first came, the Haunted Mansion first came out, or the Mansion first came out, I was like, wow, this is so cool. And the company that does that, I think, is it called Core Games? Oh, I'm so ashamed, I should remember. In Vancouver?
They're
They're from Vancouver. I think
Is it like
Core Games.
next level games? Right?
Next Level Games.
Oh,
Thank
yeah,
you. Next
that's
Level.
right.
Those guys are so great. They're so impeccable. They're so creative. They're, it's just like at Nintendo. You can you feel their creativity and their love of making games, the music and the sound effects and the characterization and hello. They just find these things, they pull these things. Beautiful directors, wonderful creative people. I absolutely loved it. So that was, to me, it was just awesome fun. Really great. Thanks for asking that.
Well, now that it's coming to a close of your Luigi, do they have you pinned up for something? Like that?
I can never talk a word about what's coming next, and oftentimes I don't know what's coming next. They code name games. It's a very secure industry. People that have the trial games have handcuffs on their wrists and on the suitcases, and they're never allowed out of their sides. Because it's like everything's top secret. So they know that I don't stop talking till I run out of things to say. So they don't tell me a lot of secrets, which keeps me safe. Henry Kissinger did that to one of there was a spy in the White House, and Kissinger goes up to his aides, these like 2 or 3 suspects of the people they think it could be. He goes, listen, you've got this spying going on, so I'm going to do something for you. I'm going to stop giving you classified information. That way, if something leaks, I know for sure, and I can say to everybody for sure it's not you.
Well, thank you for voicing my favorite video game character of all time, Luigi. It's really an honor to meet you.
All right, thank you very much. You're number 1.
Yeah.
Thank you. Hi. Hello. Hi. Hello. Hello.
First off, I just want to say, like a lot of people have been saying, thank you for, just having so much fun and giving a lot of joy to a lot of children, our generation, future generations, and just bringing, Mario to everybody.
Thanks.
It's wonderful.
It's cool.
You're a really friendly guy, and very welcoming to the fans. And do you have like a story, like any particular encounter you had with a fan that's really made you really laugh, or just really just touched you?
This little boy in London, we were at the midnight launch of Galaxy, and he walks up to me and he said, Mel Blanc was the voice of my father's childhood, and you're the voice of mine. And I was in that accent, I was like, that's so sweet. I so often get very tender things said to me. In Belgium, we were just in Belgium, and a girl came up to me and said, my sister died when I was young, and I was so sad, and the Mario games was the one place that I had happiness and could smile.
Wow.
So things like that happen all the time. And I can't say more than that because I'll start crying.
Yeah, me too.
Which is, I leak a lot when I start, so I won't. But yeah, oftentimes very tender, very sweet. I really think I'm the luckiest guy in the world because I do what I love, and people are touched by what I do. I can't imagine a bigger gift than that.
Well, thank you again for bringing the happiness to everyone.
Thank you. Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
Thank you for being here, first of all.
Thanks for wearing the Luigi hat.
Oh yeah, I was Dr. Luigi yesterday at the same time.
Yeah.
I'm actually also a huge Sonic fan, so I thought it was really interesting when they started crossing over Mario and Sonic for the Olympics.
Yeah.
My question is, have you ever met any of the Sonic cast? If you do.
No. I emailed a couple of times the guy that did the original Sonic, you know? And that was really awesome. The guy's a super nice guy. And I talked on the phone with the guy that took his place once, and I've sent my agent some ideas for the guy that had the original Sonic games. But I haven't actually met them, and I haven't worked in the studio with them. I would love to, though. I mean, it's being an actor. It's a different world. I used to be. It used to be in the old days. If you went in the studio, or then you went an audition, so you go into your agent's office and you'd see all the actors that you hadn't seen since yesterday. And you'd sit there, now you do everything from home on your computer. When you go into a studio, instead of having 6 mics set up and everybody talking, doing the scripts, it's like you record yours here, the guy in New York does his there, the guy in Chicago does his there, the guy in LA does his there, and you never see each other, never hear each other, never talk to each other. So you don't have any time to just sort of shoot the breeze, So it's like the community's not there. And I was just at London Comic-Con. I was hanging out with other guys from Star Trek, Deep Space Nine, and they're really nice people, I said, what occurs to me is you guys with your community in that one TV show have that, your same pals, you go over and over again. But the rest of us actors don't have that anymore, so it's very different world.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. But I love that too. I love those days of working at 6 microphones. Hi.
Hi, okay.
How are you?
I kind of have a silly question.
Oh, good.
How much would you charge to preach at a wedding in Mario's voice? And can you do an example?
To preach to the dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to meet and merge the princess with the plumber. And then I say, does she make you hard? To go bada bing, bada boom, bada bang. Amore, and I don't mean the amore either, the kind you bite from the nose. I'm talking about bada bing, bada boom.
Thank you.
You betcha. Yeah, okay. Oh,
My wedding then.
Kitty! Hi, Kitty. It's hard when you have pause.
Yeah.
I wanted to say, I really admire your philosophy of being able to play in life, and I think that would be a good thing to spread the word.
Thank you.
I just wanted to know, if you had not bumped your head and stumbled into Mario, do you think you'd be able to play as much in life?
No. Well, I think, I can't say yes or no, but probably yes. And here's why. Because I really believe that, in a very real way, you create your own world, your own reality. And that's not to say that you're 100% responsibility, but you're 100% responsibility for the cause and the impact. And also, the example I would use in that is if a noise is made, boom, and I can go, oh my gosh, was that a gun? Or, oh my gosh, I hope nobody's hurt. How I respond to something is by my choice. Your dad, your mom picks you up for 12 years through school, and one day forgets you. Do you remember the day she forgot you? Or do you remember the days that she didn't? So we all choose the emphasis and the significance of the events in our world. And some people have very hard events, and people have very easy events, but think they're hard, So, I think that a part of that is, too, on a big scale, is when you do live your dreams, when you're willing to be vulnerable and to dream and to try for them and to fail, then you're sure you'll fail, for sure. But then sure you'll succeed, because the causation of resonance, like if you take a heartbeat, a heart cell beating at this rate here and another heart beating there, that by law of resonant causation, one will go up to the other one will go down to this one, or they'll meet somewhere in the middle. So I think when you're happy and you're joyful and you're living in gratitude, you generate the possibilities of good things happening. And not to say that I deserve Mario, because I have no idea why I got to have such a great life, but I hope that somehow I would have created something fun too. You know, although I wouldn't be living where I live, I'd be living in LA being an actor because the work dried up in San Francisco, and it would be a different world, different community. Who knows? Maybe we all split, you know, from those moments in our lives in choice. You know, there's split, there's another reality there's another reality there, another reality there. Who knows, you know? Maybe there are like 5 million of us all over the place, you know? And I don't know.
5 million Marios.
Well,
Yeah.
I think I speak for everybody here when I say that Mario is probably not as popular in some of those other realities as it is in this one.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah. Do we have, how much more time do we have? We got about 5 minutes. Thank you very much. 5 minutes. Hi, you look fantastic.
Thank you.
I love your dog too. Did your mom make the dress? Did you make the dress?
I bought it.
It's fantastic. It was beautiful. Hi.
Hi. What do you like to do in your free time?
What do I do in my free time? Oh, thank you for asking that. You know, I do a lot of things. I love to travel. Tuesday morning I fly to Bangkok, and I'm going to spend a month in Thailand. I'll go to Europe 2 or 3 times this year. I'll do a show in New Zealand, and I'll spend a week in New Zealand. So I love to travel. I love to hike. I love nature. I love Mount Tam, climbing Mount Tam and going through redwood groves. There's something that feels magical to me about forests and mists and mushrooms growing and ferns growing. And I love beaches, and I love sunsets, and I love reading. I spend 2 hours in the morning when I wake up in the morning. I don't turn on my phone, I don't turn on my computer, I don't turn on anything unless I'm waiting for something from Europe, because they're working, you know, they're ahead of us in time. So sometimes I get up at 6 and I'm like, okay, I better check the email, make sure that nothing's important. But if there's nothing, if I'm not waiting for something there, then I wake up and I read historical books about the 20th century. It's an odd thing because I'm the happiest person in the world, and I believe in human optimism and joy, but I also try to study what it is that allows people to do the opposite of that. You know, I study the history of the Nazi Party or fascism and things like how is it that a people become engaged in wanting war, you know, and I don't know why, but I've
Know thy enemy and know thyself.
What's that?
Know thy enemy and know thyself.
Know thy enemy and know thyself. Yeah, because you know we're all human beings, I think, and that's the thing. We're all human beings. Everybody's capable of making mistakes. We all do things that are very bad, and we all do things that are very good. And it's like, well, how do we? You know, I think that if I learn enough, I'll understand what it is that makes people able to just make great choices in life. What do you like to do in your free time?
I like to jog.
You jog?
Yeah.
You run? Really?
No, I draw.
Oh, draw. I didn't say jog. I'm like, wow, you draw. How fantastic. Do you want to be an artist? Yeah? Oh, that's awesome. I will hold the vision for you that you're an artist and that one day I get to play one of the characters that you draw.
Oh.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you. Keep doing it all the time, you know? Draw and draw and draw. Follow that passion all the way. For sure. Thank you. Thanks very much. Cheers. Hi.
Hello. I'd like to know, what is the most fun experience you've had while recording with Nintendo?
What's the most fun experience I've ever had while recording my Nintendo? You know, there have been so many of them, I can't even begin to tell you. Being in Japan, you know, right before I went to Japan, I got an email message, you know, they would like to know in Japan what you want in the studio with you. And I said, well, I like, you know, a water, lemons, and hot water, you know, room temperature and lemons, because I drink after every tape. And I got another email back, would you like California water, or would it be all right to bring Japanese water to the studio? And I'm like, really? And I go to the studio, and there's like, you know, everybody took their shoes off and then put on these slippers, and then you went in the slippers. And people, I'm very animated when I do it. I don't go like, woohoo, I go, woohoo! And I do whatever the character's doing. So I'm doing all this, and I'm jumping around the studio, and I look out and I see like 30 faces. There are no more slippers because there was, and people are like looking in the studio window at me and going, That was so fun. And then I'd drink my water, squeeze my lemon, drink my water. And then I'd go out, take a break. I'd walk back, and there were like 18 bottles of water in a perfect row. And coffee water that was, the teapot water that was up to that level again, and like 28 slices of lemon, beautifully arranged. It was like, aw, it was so cute. That and the first time we recorded a game in Mario 64 in 1996, and going and starting the thing by, woohoo! Thank you very much for playing my game, and doing that. That was just so magical. And spaghetti, ravioli, just the talking about that stuff. But every session has such magic to me. I work with the best people, and we have so much fun.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes.
One question.
Sure.
What do you think of the live-action Mario movie?
What do I think of the live-action Mario movie?
Oh.
That's the best movie I've ever seen.
I didn't know they actually made a movie like that. That's what I did. I used that the other day. I watched it, and yes. That trade show was really cool because that was CES, and I didn't know the Goombas that they had. And I saw these videos. I hadn't really played the games yet, except a little Mario, and a couple of times. And I see these guys walking around a Goomba and they're making a movie, and I'm like, hey, boy, this is funny. And I was just kept doing my voice and having a great time and things. And it didn't even dawn on me that I watched the movie and I was like, that didn't seem like a Mario game, But there it is. I love John Leguizamo, he's terrific, I don't think they're going to make another one like that.
Thank goodness.
I'm gleeful that it inspires people's creativity, and that's what Mario does, and that's what Mr. Miyamoto does, that's what the creativity of Nintendo does. There's such a passion and joy for games, so I guess it's great that people try to make things fun. Yeah, thanks for asking. You betcha. Yes?
Mr. Martinet, your inner peace impresses me as someone who meditates.
Oh, yes, I do meditate. I don't meditate daily like I used to, but I do.
Right, and do you still keep connections with Cal, and if so, were you in Memorial Stadium for the play?
No, I don't keep connections with Cal, and I know I haven't at all. I'm so busy just doing my life,
It's a wonderful life. God bless you, and thank you for sharing.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm a big fan. I've been playing games since before I could read.
Yay.
I accidentally deleted a couple save files for that. But I have two questions. One is for Super Smash Bros. Brawl. How do you feel about that little dance Luigi does when he gets the Smash Ball?
I love it. It's so cute. That was that dance. I watched that in the studio. That part of the game we recorded in Tokyo. And the director was there, and he was very specific, exactly what sounds, and I had sort of different, slightly interpretations sometimes, and we'd work until we got exactly what he wanted in there. So, and I love that game. He was right. It's as always, trust the people you work with, and give of yourself to that moment, because he was right. It was just a wonderful characterization. Yeah. Thank you.
Also, I was wondering, what do you think when people get like Mario and Nintendo tattoos?
What do I think when people get a Mario or a Nintendo tattoos? I think it's absolutely, what do I think? That's an interesting question, because with my girls, of course, I'm like, no, don't get a tattoo, don't get a piercing, please, But at the same time, when I see somebody with a Mario on there, I'm like, oh, that's fantastic, I've actually autographed several of those, and they came back the next year with that autograph as a tattoo. So,
wow.
I don't know. And a couple guys in Australia, they wanted me to autograph their forehead. I'm like, okay, it's just a Sharpie, but I believe in freedom. Ultimately, I believe in pursuing what you think is your happiness and being able to do what you want to do, And so if somebody likes body ink, I'm like, yay! But not my little girl. Thank you. Okay, then one more question. Hooray! That would have been me. I would have been the last one, except I would have run away and sat back out again.
It's an honor to meet you. I play as Mario when I play Smash Bros. 64 and Melee competitively.
Yeah.
And when I practice his combos, especially in Melee, which is a very high-paced game, and when I practice with my friends all day, Mario is a character who makes a lot of noise.
Yeah.
Like with its jumping in the game like Mario 64, there's like a rhythm to it, but in Melee he's always jumping around making noises. And I've heard all the sound effects and I've noticed how they progressed up to Brawl, and they reuse most of them except for like the new one for the Final Smash and a couple others in Brawl. I was wondering if you can, I don't know if you're allowed to answer this actually, but have you recorded any new sound effects for the next Smash Brothers games?
You know, I can't answer that sort of thing yet, and so I have to say no, I haven't yet.
I have a question. Have you ever considered bringing your 3DS to a convention like this so people can get you on Street Pass?
Do you know, I am the worst. Yes, I should have brought that right here. I can't believe it's sitting in my living room.
Sunday.
I was in Belgium and it was in my briefcase in Brussels at Japan Expo, and I forgot to bring it on. And then at the Media Markt in Amsterdam, someone said, "Have you got your 3DS with you?" And I said, "Oh yeah." I said, "Well, we can't see it." I said, "Oh, it's in the conference room." Okay, when I go over there, I'm going to do it. I didn't do it. I forgot. Somewhere in Amsterdam, there's a lonely child going, "He didn't turn on the street."
Oh no! No!
Very bad, man. I'm sorry. I don't know what I'm going to start learning how to do that. Bring it with me wherever I go. Turn it on, Street Pass, party.
Yeah!
Oh, and Smash Bros, you know, it's going to have Mega Man in there, and Luigi's going to be in there, and so it's going to be a lot of fun. So let me just say thank you very much, everybody. Thank you. Have a wonderful rest of the Sac-Anime. It's really my favorite show, so have a great time, and I look forward to seeing you around as we go.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Yay.
Woohoo!